Hello, this is AnlineOffline. Welcome back to another Casual's Quick Guide to Call of Duty Mobile. For today's video, we'll be covering the Type 19. Introduced in Season 2 2024, the Type 19 is an automatic assault rifle with a DMR conversion. All other guns have appeared in some form before in the Call of Duty franchise, but this is unique in that it's an original weapon that's only in COD Mobile. At least for now. It's based on the Chinese QBZ-191 rifle that has been gradually replacing their QBZ-95 since 2019. As part of the Integrated Soldier Combat System, Nurenco developed it to address the shortcomings of its predecessor. Instead of being a bullpup, it uses a conventional layout like the QBZ-03 rifles, but is more modular, ergonomic, ambidextrous, and chambered in a newer variant of the Chinese 58x42mm round. Some light support weapons can be used as impromptu DMRs, like the L86, M27, and AUG H-bar, but the QBU is the opposite, as it's a DMR first with a free-floating barrel, and an optional drum-fed machine gun second. Aesthetically, it seems to have taken some inspiration from the M4, HK416, or SIG SG550, but information is still new and scarce. But for Mobile's Type 19, base damage per shot is moderate, killing in 4 shots up close, before dropping to 5 at mid and 6 from afar. The fire rate is relatively fast at 750 rounds per minute. If it were hit scan, it technically would have had an infinite effective range. Instead, it has a bullet speed of 1000 meters per second, which is plenty for standard multiplayer, and has a base effective range of 35 meters. Time to kill is average overall, but specializes in mid-range. Headshots are 50% extra damage. The chest and arms are 10% extra. With this, you can extend its full shot potential into its second range. Otherwise, you need multiple headshots for a faster time to kill. Like the AK-47, the Type 19 also has an integrated grip barrel, but doesn't increase range or offer sound suppression. It also doesn't affect bullet speed like with the following barrels. Carbine-Length is a short barrel that increases movement and ADS speeds, but reduces your bullet speed to less than ideal, and it also hurts your bloom by 10% and range by 25%. The integral Suppressor barrel gives you a faster ADS speed, but harms your bloom and slows your ballistics to a bullet speed that's still acceptable. The heavyweight Suppressor muzzle offers a similar bullet speed penalty, but increases your range, lowers your recoil, and hurts your ADS speed. And lastly, Accuracy Supportive is a heavy barrel that improves bloom, bullet speed, and recoil control at the expense of mobility. Speaking of which, the Type 19 is dyed with the Groza and Type 25 for the second fastest base movement in the AR class. With certain attachments, it can achieve the 4th fastest sprint speed, only behind the OTS, melee weapons, and Hollowpoint CX-9. You can also match the Bison and OTS for the 8th fastest strafe speed. The sprint out time is comparable to a lot of SMGs, and the ADS time is average for ARs. The base mag size is the standard 30, and can be extended to 48 with the fast mag, or 75 with the drum, which also deals more impact. Unlike other ARs with semi-auto mags, the Type 19 sniper ammo retains its base mag size, but we'll get there soon. None of the mags harm its reload speeds, but I do think that the timing for the tactical reload cancel takes some getting used to. As for accuracy, the Type 19 has average bloom that's on par with LMGs. The iron sights are similar to the Groza, not my favorite, but it's usable for close to mid-range. The recoil is moderately light. It's steady for the first 5 before kicking leftward, then to the right, and then going up for the last 35. I don't usually talk about optics, but this gun has 2 unique scopes. A special 3x scope, and an 8x Dragunov style scope. For reference, default sniper scopes are about 5x magnification. And finally, we have the sniper ammo, which converts it into a semi-automatic, with a fire rate cap of 278 rounds per minute, which is noticeably slower than the DMR conversions of the ASVAL and AMAX. But This is made up for with its body multipliers. Within its first range, it's a guaranteed 2-shot kill to the legs, like semi-auto snipers and slug shotguns. In its second range, you'll have to hit the chest or arms for a 2-shot kill. Within both, it's a 1-shot kill to the head. Aside from this, it also becomes almost hit scan, triples your range, deals 50% more impact, and increases penetration. All of this comes at the cost of slower mobility and increased recoil, but the latter is not an issue. So, what are my thoughts on the Type 19? For mobile's first original gun, I think it's well made. It's the most versatile weapon in the game, given its hybrid gunsmith and unique attachment variety. It can be a flexible AR, an SMG, an LMG, or a DMR. It has a solid range profile and bullet speed. It has the second lowest potential flinch behind the Krig 6. Its mobility was even shadow buff from its test server counterpart. So, how does it compare to its peers? The Type 19 is what happens when you give the Grau some Cold War attachments. Grau doesn't have the same bullet speed, but it does have easier recoil, more attachments for bloom, and a variety of iron sights that are subjectively better than the Type 19's. Thus, it is better at mid-range. Up close is where the Type 19's forearm multipliers come into play, and I favor its mobility. And then we have the reverse with the Groza. Both guns have the same base movement speeds, but with Gunsmith, the Type 19 is faster at sprinting, and the Groza, strafing. The latter did get its recoil adjusted last season, but I favor the Type 19 at mid-range. Up close, I would favor the Groza, especially with the extended 4-shot consistency of the mil-spec barrel. Moving on to semi-autos, we have the SKS. This may be a hot take, but it's 50-50 for me. The Type 19 is more nimble, more consistent, easier to use. It doesn't have to worry about flinch or idle swipe because it's technically not a sniper or marksman. But the SKS has a faster fire rate and can almost shoot 100 rounds faster. Next, the Ventura's conversion. It has no recoil, a faster fire rate, a simpler iron sight, and is silent. This mag also does not hurt its mobility as much as the Type 19, so the ASVAL could be better at sweeping and clearing indoor areas. But for holding angles, the Type 19 has that full body consistency, twice the mag size, and tighter hipfire spread as a last resort. And last but not least, the AMAX with M67. Much of what was said about the ASVAL also applies, but to a lesser extent, and without the non-existent recoil or mobility advantage. Even though I would consider the Type 19 a top gun, it's not going to beat SMGs or LMGs at their niche range, and it doesn't have a crazy time to kill. So I don't think it needs a buff or a nerf. The most recurrent complaint that I came across was that the gun sounds weren't beefy enough. But hey, that's just my opinion. This has been a Casual's quick guide. Feel free to suggest what weapons you want to see covered next. My name is On, and I'm off.